You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Welcome to the lounge, ladies. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for really showing up and showing out on my last upload that I did, called the sermon was Why the Succubus Spirit Would Never Let Martell Live in Peace. When I said I had got so many views off of that video, and it's only been posted a day and a half, and it's over 1,000 views. So like I said, ladies, y'all rock. Y'all doing a darn thing. I couldn't do it without y'all. I appreciate the support. Thank y'all for sending y'all friends, sending y'all family. I know y'all been sending people to the channel saying, hey, subscribe to my girl Mocha. She's cool peoples, you know what I'm saying? So I got to give it up to y'all. Hats off to my members who've been supporting the channel with the $3 a month. Big ups to all of my mods who be holding down the chat room when I'm not able to be present. Big ups to my viewers, my subscribers. I appreciate y'all ladies for still riding with me, still having my back, still being so supportive and loyal. And for those of you who are just hearing my content for the first time and you like what you hear, join the family, subscribe, and like the video. Listen, that really gets my videos in the algorithms just by y'all liking and sharing and subscribing. So definitely do that. It's not going to cost you any money to subscribe, and I appreciate that. By the way, big ups to everyone who has been purchasing cable from me. Thank y'all. I'm glad y'all enjoying the app. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback about my cable. So again, anybody who's interested in my cable, is only $25 a month. Over 9,000 channels, Stars, HBO, VH1, Cinemax. You get all the works, OWN, Bravo, everything, except you get a cheaper cable bill. That $100 you're paying to Comcast and Spectrum Network and Dish. Listen, I can make your life so much easier. Only $25 a month for cable, all right? So anyway, hit me up about that. Inbox me, Cafe de Paris 79 at yahoo.com. If you forget my email, it is in the thumbnail. So you're welcome to hit me up anytime you're interested in getting any cable or actually purchasing t-shirts or tumblers as well. Y'all know I'm a jack of all trades. I do a little bit of everything other than just blogging, right? But let's get into the sermon today, y'all. I want to talk about this. Why the side piece is usually left in pieces. You know, one would think now, because we are in the year of 2024, and you would think now that we have the blessings of social media and all of these things that are constantly being exposed to us and brought to our awareness, these reality shows, you know, we're seeing pretty much everywhere that being a side chick is just a whole new level of trauma that a woman brings onto herself, onto her life, and in some cases onto her child. The fact that so many women are oblivious to these married men. Anybody in 2024 that is still believing in the lies of a married man, I advise you to check in at your nearest psychiatric ward, okay? Because there's a mental dysfunction. You need to check in like Martell had to check in, because there's no way in the world we're seeing every day these side chicks, these succubuses who fall prey to these married men. We're seeing where they are landing. We see where Portia has landed, getting involved with Simon. We see where Sharina Hudson has landed, getting involved with Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter. We see where Arion has landed, getting involved with Martell. We've seen where Deja has landed, getting involved with baseball player Tim Anderson, the husband of Bria Anderson. We don't see too many spectacular stories in which a side chick has came out on the winning end, getting involved with the married man. Now, there are some exceptions to the rules. We've seen with Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats in some circumstances. However, truth is, Swiss checked out of that marriage long time ago. Okay, way before him and Mashonda made the official decision to divorce. So there are some exceptions in which men have left their wives to be with their mistress. But for the most part, we know that this rarely happens. It's like a 1 out of 7 chance that a married man will leave his wife to be with his mistress. It doesn't happen too often. There are exceptions. Look at Steve Harvey. He did it 3 times. He left every woman he done been with, he left them to be with the next woman. Marjorie has been the only one who finally landed that permanent spot. But he has a track record. But ironically, he's a relationship expert. But we'll save that for another time. So we want to go more in depth because my thing is, I know we get a lot of entertainment off of making a mockery out of the Arion airheads out there. The Portia Williams who, made the decision to disturb another woman's life, Fallon, only to end up with a scam artist in the end. And now sitting there with egg in her face. Now she's trying to supposedly link back up with her baby daddy Dennis. And I'm like, Portia, listen. If you keep going the route you're going, you're going to be having more men come out of you than a correctional institution, all right? You need to slow it down, sis, all right? Just because you're beautiful, you got a beautiful body, it does not mean you have to have a man. It does not mean you got to jump on the next opportunity if things don't work out. But we'll say that for another time. When we have the word mistress and we hear the word side chick, side piece, most of the time it has very little positive meaning to it. There's nothing special about being labeled as a side chick, because it basically displays that you are on the side. Okay, you're not a priority. You're not something solid. You are a convenience. You are there as an opportunity, as a second option. And it amazes me how many women have reached a new level in life of desperation in which they don't mind being a side piece. Because as the old song says, a piece of man is better than no man at all. And we've reached a low place of desperation in which women are willing to have a man by any means necessary. And maybe it's because of the shortage in availability, slim pickings, and very narrow options in being able to choose from a select group of decent men. You have in many cases, most decent men are either one, bachelors, meaning they're very ambitious. They love their single lifestyle. They don't want the responsibilities. They don't want the obligations of having a family or having a wife. They value their bachelor life. Just being able to date various women, being able to smash various women, and don't have to deal with the fact that a woman can place too many stipulations or demands because there's not a commitment involved. He loves having that luxury of being able to roam and float around and date and smash as many women as he pleases without the obligations of responsibilities and without the commitment. He's a bachelor. Okay, so you have a lot of guys that value being a bachelor. They want to enjoy their nice crib to themselves. They want to enjoy their nice cars to themselves. And they want to enjoy their wealth to themselves. Okay? So I can respect the bachelor because he basically lets you know right off the muscle, I'm just having a good time. I'm not looking to tie in and commit. But if you don't mind kicking it with me sometimes, you don't mind us linking up, getting it in once in a while. We gotta have dinner, catch a movie, but don't look for me to be your husband, to be your man. That's nowhere on my agenda. I can respect the bachelor because he lets it be known that he's doing him. So I'm tongue tied. Got a lot of good men out there that are bachelors who don't want to get married. Then you have your second group of men known as how can I say this? Low value. And I don't mean that as in degrading them as human beings or individuals, but meaning that they are comfortable just living the simple life. Good guys, but because they don't fit that income tax bracket, they're not an athlete, they're not a rapper, they don't make X amount of money, but they are great providers. They work hard. They may live paycheck to paycheck, but they don't mind providing for a woman, don't mind taking care of a woman, don't mind being there for a woman, and even possibly marrying a woman and having a building the future and having children with her. But because he lives a simple lifestyle, he doesn't have all of this money. He's a simple guy. He's not into the 2024 vehicles. He just wants a simple car in which he can get around, a simple car he can afford to fix on his own, do his own oil changes, not having to spend all this unnecessary money with a high-end car note just to prove a point, to prove that, he has all the qualities of what women modern women would perceive as high value men, because he's not very materialistic. It doesn't mean he's not idealistic. He does not have goals. He does not have plans. He does not have dreams. But the fact that he's not materialistic, a lot of women shun that. He's the kind of guy that'll pick you up in his 2012 Honda Accord. Okay? And he dressed in simple clothes. He's not flashy, not blinking. Good. Ideal good man, but because he does not believe in putting up this false, he does not believe in using materialism as a means to lure or draw women to him. Most modern women are not going to be interested in him, missing out on the fact that he's possibly a good guy. These are the guys that probably make money working for the sanitation department. He's probably the maintenance man in your apartment complex. He probably is the bus driver, simple guy. And listen, just because a man doesn't appear to make a lot of money, it does not mean that he does not have the logics in order to be able to take the money he makes and makes big dreams happen with it. A man is only, you have fools with millions. You know what I mean? You have men who make a lot of money, but it does not mean they have real goals, they have real plans, they got real dreams. So you cannot, size a man up by his wallet. You size him up by his mindset with his wallet. What is he planning on doing? I've seen men make money paycheck to paycheck and have accomplished more than some men who were dope dealers, drug boys, who was making thousands within a day and still to be crashing on his mama's sectional sofa. So it's about the man's mindset with his money. So you have good guys like that are looked over. Of course, then there's the married men. Men that seem to have all the qualities of being a good man. Most married men, and this is how a lot of women get manipulated. A lot of side chicks don't understand. it's only logical for married men to seem well put together compared to the bachelor, compared to the simple guy, right? Because you got to realize a married man, that's why he's married, because he has to have those things, okay? The married man has to have transportation, decent cars, a nice homes that he lives in. He makes a certain amount of money because he is a family man. He's a husband, he's a father, so it's only natural for the married man to seem like he's more well established compared to the simple guy or the extravagant bachelor. You know what I mean? Because he seems more grounded. And it's not so much because of him as a person. The reason why married men seem more well established, seem more well put together, seem more well grounded, it is because the way his life is structured. And his life is structured around a wife who has to provide for, a wife who's probably in many cases the partner behind his success. She plays a part in it, she plays a role in it. And then you have his children, which is a part of his legacy. So this is the reason why a lot of women are turned on by married men. They see the ring on his finger. They see how well established he is. They see how his life seems to be in more order. And that's because based off of his lifestyle, being that he's a husband and a father, he has to have a little bit more structure. But women who lack maturity, who lack spiritual discernment, these are the things they find appealing in a married man. Not understanding that they can very well find those things in single men as well. There are single men out there who make money just like married men, who are well established just like married men. But the crazy irony of it is that a lot of these dysfunctional minded side chicks, they will see a married man, and the first thing that turns her on, believe it or not, is the fact that he's married. Because what it does is sends her mixed signals that if another woman was able to marry him, able to build this life with him, it gives her more hope that she potentially stands a chance of being able to have that same type of life. Now, what I'm saying is not supposed to make sense. Don't expect it to make sense. This is from the mindset of the side chick. You know, a married man gives her the incentive that she too can possibly have that chance of also being able to have a life of her own with him. Hell, he settled down with this woman. Unlike the bachelor, she don't see a woman there that gives her any proof that it's a possibility that one day he will marry and have a family. Or the simple guy who a lot of women turn away and neglect, and she figures because he's not married that maybe he's too broke, maybe he doesn't have his self-worth together. That is the toxic irony of it all, is that a lot of women want men that are married because they feel like if another woman has married this man and was able to build a family with him, it gives her this, hope that she indeed very well stands that opportunity of getting that from him as well. Makes no sense. But this is why a lot of married men are targeted. Many married men are targeted because a lot of women don't want to put in the work that the wives have put in. You have to realize when a woman marries, is more than her just earning his last name. There was a lot of grooming and training that takes place. Just like being a mother, you have a child who you have to raise. You have to teach them how to have manners. You have to teach them how to clean their rooms. You have to teach them how to be self-sufficient. That's part of being a mother. Teaching the little human being that you've given life and brought into this world. Teaching them and giving them all the tools and spiritual knowledge as to being a productive citizen, to society. Not a burden, but someone who can actually be an asset to the world. That is what the primary ideal of being a parent is supposed to be about, bringing them up to be civilized and productive human beings. Well, believe it or not, with wives, for the school, some of you unmarried women out here, right? Believe it or not, a lot of us wives, us married women who have put in work 10 years or more. Because my thing is, if you don't put in only 5-6 years, honey, you got to put in some more time before we can really, you know what I mean? Before I can really qualify you as such. Okay? This does not mean because women who've been married longer, we are more valuable than women who only been married a certain amount of years. Trust, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think it speaks more volumes when a person has been married 10 years or more. They have enough longevity invested in order to be able to really produce receipts showing that marriage takes a lot of work and effort, right? So, like I said about having to raise a child, being a wife, believe it or not, wives had to raise their husbands, okay? Some of these men have come to us dysfunctional. Some of them have come to us with unhealthy childhood. Some of these men have come to us broke, struggling, and we took a chance and being with them because we saw their potential. In other words, these men, most married women, have accepted men who were not at their best. Okay? Don't believe for a second any woman that's married, when she married her husband, he had it all well established. If he had it all well established financially, he did not have it well established emotionally or spiritually or mentally, you know. In other words, these men come to you lacking in some area in their life, just like you're going to come to them lacking. Everybody comes to marriage with baggage. Baggage does not necessarily mean children, multiple baby mamas there. That's one type of baggage. Baggage could be coming up in an unstable household, coming up in an unstable environment, dealing with a significant other who has substance abuse issues, gambling issues, or promiscuous issues. A lot of these men, no matter how well together, no matter how handsome, how financially well off they are or not, they're still coming to you with baggage. And as married women, it takes time to really groom these men into helping them become not the perfect man, but the right man for him to be for us. Okay? Because what one woman needs in a man, another woman probably needs something different. Okay? We all have different needs when it comes to selecting a partner. You have some women that are seeking men specifically that can financially just contribute, and that's a main asset to her. And you have other women, okay, yeah, I do want a man that has money, but at the same time I want a man that has respect, morals. I don't want to be one of those type of women with a wealthy man, but he's disrespectful and I'm miserable. You know, even though he has me in his beautiful home with all these beautiful cars, I don't want to be, you know, a miserable wife living a luxurious life. So we all have different expectations when it comes to what type of man we're looking for. But regardless of what, these men have to be groomed, meaning we have to help them clean up somewhere. They did not come to us perfect, well established. Some of these men, we have to teach them how to budget their money. Some of these men have problems managing their money, and we had to train them and groom them and being able to manage their money better. Some of these men did not have the best of hygiene. Okay, had to make him understand, look, dude, you need to go to the dentist and get your checkups annually. Okay, you don't believe in going to the dentist. You don't believe in going to the doctor. You don't believe in going to church. You know, keeping yourself spiritually, you know, inclined or whatever. So, other words, all married women, we had to train these men. Had to train them how to chew with their mouth closed. Had to train them on so many things. You know what I mean? So, the thing about it is with the side chick, they don't understand the work that the women put in, that the wives have to put in. Teaching these men how to talk in a full sentence. Teaching these men how to dress when they go to certain places. Believe it or not, these men that y'all see that are so well established, behind every good looking man is a good looking woman that helped him to become that good looking man. It's a woman. Every time you see 9 times out of 10, when you see a married man, he's well groomed, well dressed, polite, knows how to articulate himself. 9 times out of 10, he did not get that way overnight. It took his lifelong partner raising him, grooming him, how to better himself as a person. Because as wives, that's just in our nature to be nurturers. Just like even if you're not a wife, if you're a mother, you nurture your children to be the best people they can possibly be. By, again, like I said, by teaching them manners, teaching them how to deal with conflict. Same thing. Women, we have had to groom these men to be what they are. And in many instances, they had to groom us to be who we are. But those of you who are not married, y'all may look at that as, I don't want no man controlling me. And married men may look at it like, I don't want no woman controlling me. It's not about controlling each other. In marriage, you have to groom each other. You do have to structure each other because you are around each other every day, all day. You know your partner's weaknesses and strengths. And if you love or care anything about them, and if you see them out of pocket or out of alignment or not doing things the right way, you're going to address it. And you're going to do whatever you can to help them strengthen themselves or better themselves in that area. So you see these side chicks, and they see these men well established, and the thing is, they would rather get a man who they feel is already well together, not understanding he was not always like that, boo. If it was not for Patricia, his dedicated, faithful wife who stood by him for 15, 20, 30, 20 something years, he would not be that good looking. He would not be that well groomed, because when she met him, he was very, very scruffy. Looked like, he was living in the shelter in Salvation Army. Okay, so it's a lot of work that it takes in these marriages. And everybody does not have wife energy. Anybody could be a side chick, okay? Meaning you come in on the ride, you come in for the ride while things are already well established. But it takes a real woman of grace to be able to accept a man when he's still building himself, when he's still trying to establish himself, when he's at the peak of his success and not all the way there. You LL Cool J wife, Simone, Snoop Dogg wife, Shantae, Denzel Washington wife, Pauletta. It's a lot of these women who have been with these men when they were nobodies, when they were selling mixtapes out their trunk. MC Hammer's wife. A lot of these women got some stories that they can share with you, that it was not easy, and same thing with Wendy Williams. Being with Kevin Hunter all of those years, only for him to turn around and play her in the manner in which he did. But I say all that to say this, you know what I mean? That it's a lot of side chicks who are constantly putting down married women. And I see it all the time, how there's so many women who are really celebrating and really boosting up the delusional confidence of these side pieces. You see it on Instagram. You know how many women was caping for Portia, knowing she took Simon from Fallon? You know how many women was praising Portia, celebrating Portia? And do you not realize how many women was dragging Fallon when Fallon did nothing wrong to Portia to deserve that disrespect from Portia? And you had everybody caping, well, Fallon was cheating, Fallon did this, but overlooking the whole fact that Portia became friends with this woman so she could get close to Simon. And we see where that ended at. You have women to this day who actually support Ariane air mattress. Women who drag male to filth. When to this day, no man has been able to come forward and say, "Oh yeah, I've been smashing Melody the whole time she was married to Martell." There's no pictures put out with Melody being caught in the act with any man, inappropriately with any man. Yet they love to attack Melody, like Melody did something wrong when she did nothing wrong but be a wife, a mother, and a businesswoman. Now, I've seen other women go to Ariane Air Mattresses page, and you will be surprised how many women rock for Ariane. How many women are actually complimenting her, making her feel proud, of being a coleslaw. You got a lot of women that's boosting up. Girl, you look cute. Later for what them haters say. They just mad because you and Martell look good together. If y'all see the comments, now a lot of these women praise Ariane Airhead, it will make y'all sick to y'all stomach. Like, wow. Those of us who know the inside and know the real scoop on what all really transpired, you don't even want to read her comment section. You have so many women caping hard for Ariane Airhead. Not as many as the millimeters. She'll never get that big of a recognition, but y'all get what I'm saying. Then you have Deja, the proud side chick that was so happy to have a baby from Tim Anderson, the baseball player, and every time his wife, who is still with him, Bria, posts nice family pictures of them on the red carpet and out to special events, how she seizes the moment like Ariane Air Mattress to go on social media and let everybody know how stupid and dumb the wife is, and that brings me to my whole point of this sermon today. Why so many women have it in for the wives and not the side chicks. It's the married women being told they're dumb because they're willing to stand by their husbands. Now, let me first start off by saying this. I never could understand the irony of a side chick. Listen to me clear. Hit that like button while y'all are in. If y'all can do that for me right now, please hit that like button. It just takes 1 second. Thank you. I appreciate it. Big ups to all my mods on deck. Anything I say in this content is alleged and based off of my own opinion. Everything I say is based off of entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, when I hear the side chicks have the audacity to want to be moral and call the wives stupid and dumb. Why? Because the wives won't leave the husbands that cheated on their wives with them. Yet the side chicks who knew these men were married and to add insult to injury had babies and decided to get pregnant. Do you not know these are the same women I call the married women stupid? They say the married women are dumb or have low self-esteem for staying with their husbands. Do y'all realize the irony of how these side chicks think? That the wives are stupid for not leaving. And I'm gonna tell you why. Let's just pump the brakes there. Whenever you hear a side chick insults the wife for staying, what she simply means is that I was hoping by destroying your marriage that it would have been enough to warrant you to want to leave. Me infiltrating thanks to the invitation of your husband not respecting the vows, since I was able to be given that privilege to destroy your marriage, and the fact that you did not leave the marriage that I was aiming to destroy, it infuriates me because I wanted to take your place as soon as you left. And the fact you are still there has made it clear to me that my chances of being the next woman up is not going to happen. That's really what it means. When a side chick wants to attack you as the wife, or wants to attack the wife and call the wife stupid, who's more stupid? Because you had a chance of avoiding not even getting in this situation once you found out he was married. That was your time to collect 200 pass, go and move out of Dodge and not make yourself prey to just settling to be a baby mama where your child is only being seen on the weekends or on special occasions. That wife was there before you. The audacity of these side chicks thinking that the wife is stupid or wrong for staying. Why should she leave? The wife did not sleep with you. It was her husband who slept with you. So if you're going to be mad or angry with anyone, be mad with the husband for deceiving you. Especially if that wife has not approached you. That wife has not only blamed you. Trust and believe she's already dealing with him for his wrongdoing. That is why he's still staying, because he knows he owes it to that wife for the humiliation, the embarrassment, the distaste of his actions. He knows it, and don't think he hasn't heard about it. Don't think for a second that just because you see them posting up on the red carpet, posting Instagram pictures, don't think for a second he is not experiencing the wrath of the pain and the shame that he took his wife through. You got to realize these married men, their wives have family. So to know that not only his family knows the disgrace of his actions, but imagine the wife family knowing the disgrace of his actions. This man is still married to his wife. So can you imagine the awkward stares he gets when he goes to the family reunions, when they have the Thanksgiving dinners? Do you not know? Hell, if we all know it and we just followers and fans and bloggers, you think his in-laws don't know the embarrassment? He has to live with that, So he's already getting punished for his actions in his own ways. And yet you want to add more insult to injury by dragging the wife. As if she already hasn't gone through enough. The wife did not do anything to you, sis. To you side chicks out there, the wife didn't do anything. And if she did go off and did lash off or did cuss you out, then she has every right to do so, because you were a willing participant, not a victim, but a willing volunteer in getting involved with her husband. Now, don't think because she ain't slapping her husband in front of you or cussing him out in front of you that she's sparing him any leniency. You don't know what all the new rules that she has had apply to him. Okay, if I'm willing to stay with you, this is how it's going to be. You're no longer going to be able to go over there, hang out with her, go and pick up that child without me knowing, or get involved with seeing your child and I don't know about it. You're going to have to come home at a certain time. You have a lot of side chicks that get angry when these men get exposed, thanks to them. And they wonder why these men can't move the way they move. You know why? It's because the wives at home done shut down the operation. Now, if it's a different case scenario, like male left, where it's free game, then you can do the airhead and just continue to keep cooking that great value chicken Alfredo and keep letting him bend you over on that sectional sofa from Rental Center and smashing them cakes to smithereens. Now, but if he did not leave his wife, that is because he knows at this point he committed a major felony, right? Like a criminal who has committed a severe criminal offense. Now that they are on probation, they are on restrictions. They can't go where they used to go, can't be around the people they used to be around. Now they have rules, they have restrictions. That is the same way it works in any case with a man who realizes I messed up royally, I messed up bad. Now the ball is in my wife's court. I'm at her will. I'm at her mercy. Whatever she say for me to do, I got to do it. So if this married man is acting different now, he's folding on you, he's not calling you, he's not sneaking and creeping over to the house, you automatically thinking he's just dissing you and ditching you. Well, what has happened is the program has changed. He had to make a decision. Either he's going to respect the rules to keep his marriage, if God has blessed him with second chances and the wife had enough grace to spare him, or you know what I mean, he realizes that I got to do what I got to do to rebuild my marriage and rebuild the home front. And if that means at the expense of your misery has to make that happen, he's going to do that. So you're angry with the wife, but you have to realize, just like things are changing for you, things have changed for their marriage. This man can no longer come over, hang out with you, sneak and creep. But at the same time, the dynamics of his marriage has changed too. The trust isn't the same anymore. The dynamics isn't the same anymore. There's been more weight added to an unfortunate situation, especially once a child has been involved. So you have all of these side chicks that are very angry because the wife won't leave. Guess what? The wife does not have to leave. She was there before you. Her life was already set a certain way. And, you know, again, women have choices. Women can decide to leave like Melody did. Melody left. She left because Martell would not stop. So all women do not have the same level of grace to stay with the man, a husband who has cheated, not only cheated, but created a child. Many women have left. But there are also many who have stayed. And this infuriates the side chick. That's why to this day, a lot of these side chicks are still very angry, you know, and bitter. Because they thought, oh, once I have this baby, that's really going to seal a deal. And I think with Martell, because a lot of people have used, you know, and I've listened to different bloggers saying, you know, Mel has strength to walk away and leave Martell. She left him once he had that baby. I believe that, but I think the main thing was the disrespect. Even after he had the baby, he was bold, he was cocky, he was full of himself. It could have been a possibility if he would have really humbled himself and not taken Melody through what he took her through and really made a whole 360, they probably could have survived that. But Martell, being a nasty, cocky, manipulative, he was not going to respect Melody's rules. He was only going to stay on a straight and narrow path for like 2 days. He was eventually going to go back to being what he was. So it made it easy for Mel even more so to leave, not just because of the baby thing, but the fact that Martell had no remorse and the fact that that did not change him. Because believe it or not, there are men who got in these situations. And believe it or not, it did make their marriage better. Once he realized he was not as smart as he thought he was, till he knocked up the right chick who made his life a living hell, and he realized, you know what? All this time I thought my wife was a nag. I thought my wife was the worst thing. Getting involved with this crazy bitch, I realized my wife was the best thing I had. So I can't change my mistake. Baby is here, but what I can do is learn from this, be a better man, take care of home, don't embarrass my wife no more, don't humiliate them or her anymore, take care of this child from a distance, make sure this child is loved, and meanwhile I have to keep my wife with my life separate from this responsibility out here. Because I did create a child, I can't just abandon, but at the same time, I humiliated my wife, I committed adultery, I had to repent, and God gave me another chance, and I'm not going to blow it this time. I'm going to do right by my wife, come home at a decent time, help with the family. I'm going to be a whole nother better person. There are men who got caught up in some really bad situations, and it made them better men. Now, I know a lot of you bitter, hateful, spiteful women don't want to believe that. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a man turn me down, once a man hurt me, I'm done. And I'm not knocking that. I think every woman has the right to decide. Some things are zero tolerance, and I get it, sis. Some things, you don't get a pass on cheating. You don't get a pass on having a baby. I don't knock no woman who walks away from situations like that, because just some situations are beyond unforgivable. However, some women have the grace to overcome that battle, but in many cases it's because the man is doing what he's supposed to do to make her feel comfortable enough to give him that grace. Most grace don't come from people who are repeating the same mistakes. Grace comes from a man that's making effort, and he's going the right direction. He's not just talking about it, he's being about it. Okay? And sometimes it's the worst situations that has to be exposed in order for a person to come to the real reality of, you know what, I'm a effed up individual. I got to go to counseling. I got to go to church. I got to man up. I didn't realize I was this severe of a fuck boy. And I didn't see, sometimes people really don't see themselves for themselves until they get into the worst situation. And then you got some that really don't, like Martell. He don't see the worst in himself, but it was once when he admitted he regretted cheating, and that he should have just went home. Even though he has not displayed any gratitude or sympathy, but he did admit he wished, looking back, that he would have done things differently. But his cockiness and the arrogance and the fact he was still entertaining the succubus, it just wasn't going to work, right? So the side chick gets angry with the wife for staying. And unfortunately, in the vows, for better or for worse, for sickness and health. Unfortunately, these marriages, people don't always get to choose what journey your marriage is going to encounter. If your marriage doesn't encounter cheating, it's going to encounter probably substance abuse. The fact that this person won't stop drinking, won't stop using drugs. If not that, this person won't stop gambling, running all through the savings, to the point you're losing your home, your mortgages are several months behind because they got a gambling addiction, or his addiction is, even though, you know, he hasn't impregnated a woman, he probably been caught dealing with other women, which is still just as bad. Having a child is worse on top of it. But what I'm saying is, we don't always get to pick and choose what type of battles we want in our marriage. You can't tell God, oh, I don't mind dealing with a man who has gambling problems, but he just can't have no babies on me now. I don't want to deal with that. Or I don't mind dealing with a man who has a child on me, but I don't want to deal with the man who brings home HIV or AIDS to me. You cannot, does not matter how good of a woman you are, how well together you are, you cannot always predict your action, your partner's actions, the choices that they're going to make in the long run that can impact your marriage and could impact you individually as a woman. There's always going to be some type of battle, and battles are going to do one or two things. It's either going to make you or break you. It's going to make y'all better people in which y'all marriage is stronger, and y'all realize that it took this situation for y'all to become closer together, and it has made him a better person. You don't go through the same drama you used to go through. He's giving you all the access to his phones, all the security codes, no more secrets, lets you know everything, you know, where he's going, how long he's going to be there. You know, a man who violates his marriage, if he cares anything about it, or he's willing to fight to make it right, he's going to do whatever it takes. So if it means that Now the side chick, I got to cut off all the benefits to my dick, the benefits to my money. All that's done, that's what I got to do. If it means I can only see the child if my wife is with me when I go pick up the child, or my wife, hey, I don't want you dealing with, I'm not dealing with that and you're not going to deal with it. Does it suck? Yes. Is the child innocent? Yes. But guess what? That wife was there before that child was created. As a side chick, you don't get to make any rules. Who are you to say, how dare she not accept my child? How dare my child can't come over there? You should have thought about that before you allowed this married man to manipulate you. Now, truth is, yes, he does need to be held accountable. Yes, he is to blame. I blame him first more than the side chick because he knew he was married way before you knew. However, this is the price of dealing with the married men. A married man will be forgiven before a side chick. The wife is going to forgive her cheating husband before she forgives you. That's the bottom line. So you cannot get mad and angry with the wife because she did not throw in a towel because that's what you was banking on. And see, that's the chance a lot of these side pieces take. You know, they take a chance, get involved with these married men who already show they have no respect for their wives. So what makes you think he's going to have respect for you? I have no idea, but this is the dysfunction of how side chicks think. And to only think he's going to turn around and leave her. Let me tell you something. These married men are fake as hell. They will sit up here and tell you all the bad stuff. I'm not pleased. I'm not satisfied. I'm not happy. She don't toss my salad like you do. She don't make me speak in tongues, sha la 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 like you do. She don't do it for me like you. But then the funny part is when the heat gets turned up and they get exposed, they run into the very woman who they was complaining about. And that's what married men who are in that phase of feeding the flesh more than respecting their vows, that is what they will do. And trust and believe, God is going to deal with the married man. If he hurt you, violated you, disrespected you, he's going to answer to that. Period. Just because him and that wife together, it does not mean he's not answering to it. He's a puppy to her now. Because he knows she can pull the plug at any given moment. And divorce him, take him for everything he has. And in some cases, and women did it. And guess what? They did the Martell. They still didn't marry the side chick. I don't know what's worse for the side chick. A man who will not even leave his married woman even after the wife knows about you, knows about the child y'all had together. Or the woman who said, the hell with this, like our girl Mel, y'all can have each other. And he still won't marry you. I don't know what's worse. I don't know. This is why the side piece is usually left behind in pieces. You are left to pick up the pieces. Because rather if he stays or goes, stays with his wife or leaves his wife, or his wife leaves him. Because most of the time men rarely divorce. It's the woman that has to make the decision to divorce. You still are left holding the bag. And you mad at the wife. How dare she not leave him? I told her I've been smashing him every night. I've been tossing his salad. He been riding my face and vice versa. And she still won't leave. Why should she? Why should she? The wife did nothing wrong. Why are you angry and mad with her? You're angry and mad with her because